Okay, so it's 3 in a row of Christina Rumbley Stratton. We call her Rumbly because that was her maiden name. So if you hear Bert it shows up in the beginning of the podcast. Sorry, guys. He had to do it because he missed Rumbly. And he was like, when he found out I was with her today, he was like, I had to go say hi to Rumbly. I miss her so much. They're really good friends. So yeah, this is Rumbly going through all her wonderful skincare line and telling me how to use it, what to use and when, and kind of what general ingredients are in her clean beauty products. Her website is Privai. Here it is again, PRIVAI.com. There's a 20% off code. It's WOTP20. And there's a link on my website at wifeotp.com. There's a tab called Links to Great Things. And there's a button there. You can just click it. And the promo code is on that button. She's offering 20% off through the month of June. If she gets a lot of sales, she'll extend it through the month of July. So it's a perfect opportunity to try some clean beauty products from a good friend of mine. She built this from the ground up. And I'm embarrassed to say, and I apologize to her last episode, that I have not used her products. When she first developed these, I would have to email her and say, can you send me the moisturizer? And then she would email me back what size, and I would email, and it just was too cumbersome because they didn't have an online store. And then I got going my way with skincare and completely forgot about it. I was actually really embarrassed because she's a very good friend. But now I'm on board. And I have all of her products. She tells me how to use them and in what order and what their purpose is. And I feel really confident that I can pull this off because I am not a skincare person. So we talk about that. We talk about husbands. We talk about, BS as we always do. So I hope you enjoy this episode, the 3rd in a row with Rumbly. Have something new next week. A couple new people of weeks to follow. But she's always entertaining and never dull. Thanks for coming back, and I hope you give her skincare line a shot if it's something that you're interested in and can afford. It's kind of a mid-level price point, so it's not something that you would buy at Rite Aid, but it's also definitely not on the high end of the spectrum as far as price goes. Very affordable for a middle, what you call it? Mass. Oh, she has a term for it. It's like she's not Rite Aid, but she's not Barney's of New York either. She's somewhere in between. So hope you enjoy this episode. I hope you take the time to check out her line. And thanks for coming back every week. I really appreciate it. I have more camper mugs on the website. I restocked my camper mugs. So if you're interested in a Wife at the Party camper mug, they're back. Thanks so much. And I'll see you next week. Enjoy.
Me, no, I leaned forward and did this, but I look like a tomato. I don't know why I'm so red all the time. I look like I don't know. I always look flushed, like, ugh.
Well, isn't your husband the gaffer around? Can't he light you?
Yeah, I need light. I just told Austin that I said, hey, it's kind of dark. I mean, I needed to look bright, and I didn't wear my glasses because of what we're going to do. And then I was like, and I didn't wear makeup. I have lip stuff on. That's about it, which is not normal for me, and I don't like it.
Well, you look beautiful.
Well, thank you. Your skin looks fabulous. Look at you.
Right here. It's called 124 ounces of water a day.
Almost a gallon?
It's a gallon, yeah. Yeah, my trainer.
All day.
I do pee all day. It's all I can do to make it through a podcast. I just peed, and as soon as we're done, I will be almost exploding.
Yeah.
But he told me, when I was like, yeah, I drink 80 ounces of water a day. I thought I was so fancy. And he was like, it's not enough. And I was like, what?
I would float away. I've done that before. I've had to. My business partner, when she was working out hard, she would drink a gallon. I'm like, that. I would literally feel like, oh, but then you don't snack either because then you're full.
You don't snack. My skin has completely changed. Mm-hmm. And he tells me that's why I've had such success keeping weight off.
Yeah.
Is that your body is like 70% water. So why are we drinking, 24 ounces of water in one day and thinking your body's not going, oh my God, keep the water from everything she eats because she's not giving me any anywhere else.
So you retain it. That's me. I retain water. I'm like puffy, puff.
Me too.
I was like that when I had Avery. I'm just puffy. My skin was like Play-Doh.
I remember.
Touch. Oh, it was gross. I remember Doug saying, we got to get a picture of your feet and your boobs. But I was like, if you take a picture of me, one, I'm going to kill you, because that was back in the day before phones really. So what, are you going to Polaroid it, or are you going to take it to Rite Aid and be like, it's just my wife's really gross size H boobs.
Size 8.
This isn't sexy. We just are doing it to have it for record.
It might need to go in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, it's the record. That's for sure. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm excited. Thanks for having me back. I love
I got my box. Here's my box. I did open it.
Okay, good.
But I didn't look in it. I didn't take anything out.
Okay. Well, then you need to pull everything out, because we're going to go through it together.
Okay. Then I'm going to stick it over here to the side.
Okay.
So for those of you who haven't tuned in before, Christina has her own line of skincare called Privai.
Yep, Alana and I created this together. Oh, yeah. Alana and I started this company 15 years ago when we started our spa company. We basically teamed up. She's just an incredible person and a brilliant mind, and she was a former massage therapist. So she understood spas and the operations of spas, and myself coming from, hi, Bert, are you going to do skincare too?
You know what? My skin's a fucking shit show right now, Rumbly.
Well,
I got all this shit in my beard. It like
pimples?
It's like not even pimples. You can't pop them. They're like just it's like dry patches that have scabs on them.
Yeah. Okay, so you need to. You're not going to shave, right? So just so you know, that's like folliculitis, they call it. If you want to get nerdy. And it's basically you're just having some dead skin, so you need to exfoliate. And when you exfoliate, it's typically when you shave, but if you have a beard, you need to be exfoliating that as well, because it's getting neglected, right? Or you're overdoing it, and then it gets dry.
Is that something you could do during sex?
Absolutely. I would advise you to do it during sex. It's really cute when you're like, yeah, hold on. I'm trying to get the lower beard.
I'm going to rub this right here. Ready? And here we go.
Well, you could totally duel it. You could be like,
together.
Get it on the back acne, just fix that too.
You ever think we'd still be together? I mean, what are the odds?
Listen, I knew if she could put up with you, then you'd be together forever, because I know you are like, you're loyal love. You'll go down hard, but they got to be able to put up with you. So she was like, shit, all right, I'll put up with him, but he's going to love me really hard. So I think that's really awesome.
She's already aggravated that I'm here. You can tell it. Like, she's already like, this is my podcast. Go to the fucking room.
He told me in the house, he was like, I'm coming in on this podcast. I want to sit in. I want to see Rumbly.
I just wanted to
love it. I love you guys. I've seen you more now than I have for 15 years.
Right?
And I know how much I love you, because I miss you and I need it. Like,
hey, I'm in North Carolina. I'm in North Carolina in a week.
Are you?
He's in Charlotte.
He's only 2 hours away.
Yeah. Charlotte, and then Greensboro, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And then we're.
So you can perform? You're able to perform?
Drive-in movie theaters.
Get outside. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be really fucking cool. I'm so excited. We just talked to the promoter yesterday.
When are you going to be? When?
We leave Thursday night, and then we start doing shows across the country. And then we get on the 29th, we're in Charlotte. We do a show at Drive-in movie theater, and then Comedy Zone the next night. And then Indianapolis, we do 2 shows. Then Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1 show, and then Fort Collins, 2 shows. And
that's great.
Then we crisscross our way. We go to hit like Salt Lake City, and then back to LA. We're back to LA on July 4th. That's
so good. So it's outside, so you don't have to worry about, social distancing. The cars will be. Are they going to are they going to be like cars, and they can put the speaker there, like old school?
Yeah, it's go ahead, Leanne. I'd like to hear you talk about it.
Well, it goes through an FM radio station. So they tune in on the radio and listen.
And then they're going to see you up there, though.
Yes, and they're projecting him on the screen. So they'll see little Bert.
Have you ever thought of this? Brilliant. That's brilliant.
He thought of this.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, oh, really? I can't perform in theaters? Hold on. I got something for you. Let me pull it out of my pants real quick. I got it. Because I'm going to do it anyways. I love that.
I love a good workaround.
You got to, because it keeps you up at night. It's a chess piece. It's like, how can I that's what I told Ann about business stuff right now. We're all in this like frozen pattern. And it's like, no, how can I not accept that? Well, how do you get creative? What can you do? How do you pivot? It's exhausting, but it's great. I'm so excited for you. That's going to be cool.
All right, I'm going to get in the sauna.
Good. You should probably brush.
Is it bad?
It's pretty bad.
It is. Hey, Bert, I'll give you some muscle therapy lotion because I know you work out and stuff. So there's a muscle therapy lotion in there. And that stuff, that is like the best biofreeze or Bengay you can use. Like it's really good stuff for you.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if you get wherever your worst soreness is.
My back and my shoulder.
Yeah. Probably from doing that and being too stiff. You know what I'm saying? So you got to put it on your shoulders. Look, he's so in love with you. Look at him.
It's the breath. It's the breath. It's the bad
Don't
breath.
tell people I smell.
He just woke up, and it's 11:30. He just woke up.
I feel fucking amazing.
You know how much I've done today? I've done like 80 different things, and he's
of course because you have your list.
I do.
Like, I'm gonna go in the pool. I'm gonna go in the sauna, and then I'm gonna think about jokes. And you're like, Bugger.
Hey, I did a podcast. Did you listen to the podcast I did with AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys?
Oh my God, it was so good. You know that I grew up with those guys, you know, so
Yeah.
That's cool. He's so cool. He's a great guy. He's been through a lot, man. He survived. I'm glad he made it through because he had some issues, but he's a great guy. Him and Howie.
I love you guys.
Love you too, babe. He's so cute. He looks good. He cut his hair. He looks not disheveled. You know, he looks like he's, you know.
Yes, we had a backyard haircut. Our came over, and the guy who always cuts our hair just kind of reached out and said, I don't mind coming to your house. I mean, I would never have asked him to come over.
No, but that's so great. He's like, I want to make a living. Let's go. Yeah.
He did. He was like, if that's what you're comfortable with, I've been kind of scheduling half a day because in California they open salons again. He's like, I've been doing like morning in the salon and then I'm traveling to people in the afternoon who aren't comfortable. So I was like, heck yeah. He cut all 4 of our hair in the backyard.
Yeah,
and colored my roots.
Nice.
I walked in and showered. It was awesome.
You're like, can we do this forever?
Every time. That's what I said. And he said, you know what? I'm thinking about changing to this model and just being in salon in the morning and going to lunch and doing several clients after lunch. He said he can't do quite as many clients because of the travel time.
Yep. But he can charge a little more premium for it and make it up. And then it's on his choice. It's Uber for haircuts, but his style. It's his own app, his own.
That's
I
right.
love that. I love that.
Really smart.
It's really smart.
It was really smart. And I'm happy to pay. I'm good. No, I'm happy to. He was watching me to see if I was talking about him.
He's so funny.
He's so him obsessed.
I know. He has to be. You know that. What's great though about Bert, I would say, and I know you know this, kind of like Doug, kind of in this way. You get what you get, right? There's no, yes, they morph and they mold and they grow a little or they go backwards or, you know, I told Doug, I'm like, how is it that I have matured? Because I met him when I was 23. I exceeded the maturity level and you have actually, you've descended down. You've gone backwards.
Right?
He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, we need to work on that. Yeah, read a book, something. I don't know. I try to read. Don't worry.
You know, they choose the path of least resistance.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What's the easiest? How do I get what I need? Because it's ABC. That's the very male of that I find of Doug and probably Bert. But Bert's got a feminine side too. Like, you know, as far as emotionally, he's got that emotional quotient that Doug doesn't really have. That non-empathetic. Bert's empathetic. But yeah, Bert's also got that thing, the entertainer, are you talking about me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right? We're all entertainers. You came in this business. That's how we met as entertainers to whatever degree. And we have that need to be wanted. And we all do. But I mean, like this entertainer part of, like I do, I have this thing of, I need to feel valued and I need to feel not important because I don't care about that. It's more, I need to feel that you value me and I also like to be liked. It's a big one.
Totally.
Liked. I love it. My dad said that. He said everyone has, he told me this years ago, everyone has a little black box in them. I don't know if I ever told you this, and it's not Pandora's box kind of thing, but everyone's got this little black box and it has a word or a phrase in it about yourself that you don't really give off per se, or it's like it's your hidden tool. It's in that chest. And it's like, I don't want people to know this. It's your vulnerability. It's your whatever. And he said, well, what's yours? And a long time ago. And I said, mine is the word sweet, because it's the least descriptor of me. No one had ever, no one says like, she's so sweet. Never. Not my thing. Funny, loud, opinionated, get the shirt off her back, that, yes, but sweet was not in that. And that's when I knew that Doug was most likely going to be the one for me. Like, I knew it because he wrote, we've been together a couple months, and he wrote me a letter for New Year's Eve, and writing to him is like death, like just murder himself. He'll like look at Hallmark cards and be like, can I copy that? I'm like, I don't care. Copy it. I won't know unless you wrote it the same as last year and the year before that, But he wrote, you're the sweetest person I've ever met. And I remember being like, because I had just told my dad that story of like, that's my word. And when he used the word sweet, I went, he sees me. He sees the part that I kind of don't give off because it either is vulnerability or whatever. But yeah, so it's like, what's your word? What's your phrase? What do you not give off, but you wish people knew about you?
Right.
Mine was that I was sweet, because I just didn't get described like that ever.
You are sweet.
I think I am.
You are. You are very kind and thoughtful. You're a very sweet person. You're right.
Shell. I've got the hard kind of exterior. I've always had that. I got a deep voice. I'm gruff. I'm a redhead. It's tough. I walk like I'm 10 feet tall. And that's nature nurture. You and I talk about that for days, about how that all comes about. But for you, what's your word? What's your phrase? What's your little black box?
The word that I don't want anybody to know about me?
Oh, the word that you would say describes you, but not a lot of people would think to describe you like that. But it is you. It's part of you. And whether you don't show it on purpose for vulnerability, or you don't know that people see it because you give so much of the other stuff.
I don't know. I have to think about that. Because I kind of just am all out who I am. Maybe when I was 23, I probably had something like you're talking about.
Yep.
But I don't even know what that would have been at 23. Maybe that I'm deep. I don't know. I'm a pretty deep person. At 23, I don't think I would have come across as a very deep person.
But you were, right? So you knew. Yeah. So that means like, for me, that sweet part was that it wasn't my go-to. My go-to was what people were comfortable around me with, which was I'm the funny girl. Bring her in, you'll get a laugh, and you'll feel close to me. And I gained trust really quick with people because it's very salt of the earth, what you see is what you get. But clearly there was that part of me that just wanted people to also see that I was sweet, or even that I was smart, and so those were interesting. And as I've gotten older, trying to figure out, well, how do I weave that in so people do know that and see that side? Don't fall back on, don't fall back on that girl, because that girl, she's cool. I bring her out a lot, but it also makes people think that you're not deep, that you just kind of stay superficial, when really I'm like, I can have a good 4-hour conversation with somebody. Clearly.
Yes. We've done that once.
Like 4 hours. Holy shit skis. Like, get the cocktail.
I know. I don't know that I love words like that. We had an episode before where I was talking about the word that I use to define myself today. I think words like that in that little black box, even though I don't keep mine in a black box.
No.
My word today is happy.
Yeah.
I want to be happy all the time. And I want everyone else in my life to be happy. And whatever happy means is different for everybody. But if I wake up my day and my goal for the day is to be happy, really, truly, deeply happy, then how does that affect how I run my day? Like, I had someone who wanted to rush and meet with me, which would have made me rushed for this podcast. I went, that doesn't make me happy. That makes me stressed.
Great mantra. I kind of dig that.
I'm going to say, we can do a phone call, or I can meet with you later this evening.
Right.
But it doesn't make me happy to shove this meeting in between what I just left and what I'm about to go to. That makes me unhappy. It makes me stressed.
Right. Well, it makes less of having to accommodate. Because something that I think you've had to do for many years, with burping on the road. And I mean, you're the navigator of that ship. You're dictating how it's rolling, because you have to keep it organized and sane and raise kids. And and live and handle the finances and keep Bert cool and chill. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot. And I think that it takes a lot of stamina and the ability to say no where it matters and be able to also, you're not going like, no, because my time, you're actually, let's just shift it. And the person probably is like, great, no problem.
Exactly.
Back in the day, you would have been like, okay, because I don't want to inconvenience
you. I have to. Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to inconvenience you, but I'll inconvenience my entire life.
Yes.
Just to make sure when the meantime was they would be fine either way.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So that's the question I answer regularly. Does this make
I
me
love
happy? And sometimes the answer is no, but you got to do it anyway. But at least you know where you're going with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that a lot. I may have to incorporate that.
And that was my goal when I was young. When I was so troubled, when I was in my early 20s, I just kept saying, I just want to be happy. That's what I want. I want to be happy. I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy in my relationship with myself, with my relationship to alcohol, if I'm unhappy in all these places, my goal really was to be happy. So then that's an easy question to answer. If I do this, will it make me happy? Right. No. Well, then why do you do it?
Right.
You don't do it.
Yeah.
So I started doing that long time ago when I was in my 20s.
That's really good. And not a lot of people do that, or they can't see through the trees, right? Because they're trying to figure out how to be happy and what does that mean? And you know, some people's happiness is derived through other people. Like they love to make other people happy, and that is their joy. And so it all depends. But I think that's a great mantra and a great way to live, because I think it's easier to obtain than what we think. Right?
I think it is. And even if you're working in a job you don't enjoy, say, I worked several jobs. I waited tables. I was an office manager in an office in New York, and I did not enjoy that job. But I would have to try and say, what part of this makes me happy? I pay my rent on time. That makes me happy. Mm-hmm. I can pay for my schooling. That makes me happy. So I may not be happy per se with this job, but what the benefit this job gives me makes me happy. So now my perspective about the job becomes more positive.
Right.
I mean, at a certain point you go, I am so unhappy that the happy it gives me is outweighed by the unhappy that I'm experiencing. So now I need to shift. Like right before, when we bought this house, I had become so unhappy with my apartment management job that I'd said to Bert, we have to move, because my unhappy is now much more prevalent than my happy.
Which will trickle into everything, your relationship, the way you're raising your kid, you know, how you're acting out in public and how you're dressing. I mean, it has how your skin looks, because we do learn that what we eat, how we feel mentally, emotionally, it shows on our outside as well, you know? And so, yeah, that's great. I kind of like that mantra. I hear my cat. No, stay.
You're not making me happy. So where do we start with this skincare stuff? Where do we start?
So, prior to starting, just so anyone that doesn't know, Privai is a skincare line that Alana, my business partner, and one of my dearest, closest friends, since I moved to Asheville, when I met her, we started our spa company. And while we were starting our spa company, I'd mentioned her, hey, I think we should do our own skincare line, because I had started working with that back, when I knew you. I had started a organic pregnancy body care line. And so the business partner I had back in LA, she actually got pregnant, and we were knitting buddies, and she had a really hard pregnancy. She was in her 40s. And so she had to go on bed rest. So we ended up parting ways, and she was like, no problem. I said, you can take the name. And she said, you can have the formulas. So I kept in touch with our manufacturer and formulations. Some of our products still to this day are from that time period, from 20 years ago. Yeah. And so when I moved here to Asheville and opened up Spa Theology, and Alana and I partnered, I was like, I have these formulas. And she was like, I was a former therapist and, aromatherapist. So we blended that together and used our staff and our spas as market research and focus groups to really get in there. We hired a botanist, a chemist, we brought in lead therapists, estheticians, and we were like, okay, what is amazing that you love? What don't you like? Why not? Use our customer base, let them feel it. we had regulars coming for years, and we could tweak. And because Alana and I were nimble, we could like change it on a dime, get in, manufacture, change it. We were scent profiling everything. And so it morphed from a company called Sacred Skin, was our original, and then it morphed into Privai. And Privai is short for Priva oricacia, which is a lemon verbena species of a botanical that's endangered in Namibia, Africa. And so through research, we really loved Privai. We were like, we can't call it Priva oricacia, way too long. So Privai, we added the I on the end to bring attention back to oneself. So that was kind of the idea. And the whole idea was hold yourself sacred, because this line is unapologetically feminine. It is a female line all the way to the bottle choice. The way the bottle is, it's from Italian molded glass. It's heavy. It feels stable, and she's feminine, and she's us. You know what I mean? She's a working mom. She, educated or not, she loves her friends. She's a networker. She loves to go to spa, but chooses herself last on the list. She likes to take care of everybody else, but knows that she needs to take care of herself. And she's choosing wellness as part of her prescription. And so we just don't apologize for it. We don't have a men's care line. This is our female line. Men do buy our line, which we love. And eventually we may open up a men's line, because men's skin is completely different than women's.
Right.
So just as a background, we've had it for 15 years in our spas. It has morphed and molded and grown over the years. Packaging has changed, and I'm really proud of it because it's a cult following. Like, we never advertised it. It wasn't even online. I think 6 years ago we went online. I was like, God, I missed the boat on that. I should have done it a long time ago. But we grow our online audience slowly. And now everyone has natural skincare. And we're always laughing. We're like, gosh, we were natural beauty and clean beauty, or working towards that for years. But things ebb and flow, and what's hot, what's not. And so we just kind of keep consistent. And the goal is that in our spas and outside of that, women have a moment to use self-care through skincare. And, there's so many ways to practice self-care. We talk about that, whether it's reading or meditating or praying, or, going to the beach, going to the pool, writing a love poem, singing a song, whatever your happy is. For us, we know that when people take a moment for themselves, and they have a choice where they spend their money, and if they're going to take that time out and take that money that they work so hard to gain, they're choosing our line or choosing our spas. We feel empowered by that to give them something great.
Right.
I want people to leave our spas and go, oh my God, I smell that spa smell. I love it. I just want to eat it. I want that. And so does Alana. And the O Factory, which is our nose, is the number one sense memory.
Right.
So the goal behind it was, how do we find something that smells like spa in a bottle and delivers the results that you want? Ooh. And so we ended up with our, this is the antioxidant repair. I don't know if I have that for you. But antioxidant repair it's like liquid gold. It's no,
I don't have it.
Yeah, it's basically jojoba oil, Camellia sinensis with grape seed. It's got rosehip and pomegranate oil. It's straight up oil. It's 100% natural, clean as can get. And it's got vervain and lavender. And that's our scent profile for Pravai, which smells like a spa. So I think I may have had her give you little tiny samples of that one. If you have the mini baby droppers. Yes. Maybe. That should be in there. It's the tiniest little dropper that I love, because I love little things. I'm the nerd. I'm the branding person. Oh yeah, lots of samples.
These are all.
So do you have a little tiny? Oh, maybe she didn't put it in there. Sorry.
I have this thing.
Ah, yes, that's the. Ooh, yeah, that's your. We're gonna mess with that.
Okay.
So we'll start with your cleanser. I'm gonna sanitize.
I got a headband.
You do? Okay, put on your headband. I got mine too.
Headband.
I'm putting on my sanitizer. Why? I'm not touching your face, but whatever. I'm just gonna.
It's habit.
It is.
A good habit. By the way, I love your hand sanitizer.
Do you? Okay.
I do, because I like it that it's a spray.
Yeah, because then you can get in there. What's so funny about it? Like I told you, it's like reminds me of.
Can I wear it like this?
And Bert would love this. Oh,
What do you think?
That's cute. I like that. Over the head. Yep. I guess I should pull this in. Yeah, so I don't look so ridiculous. Yeah. We look like housewives of whatever. Housewives of Zoom.
My earring went in my ear like this. Look.
Ooh, that's hot. That's
Okay.
okay. So your Provide up. You got your Provide headbands. Very important. We want to keep our hair back.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go through your regimen, and then I'll talk about this stuff. Get your cleanser, because I don't have your list in front of me.
Gentle foaming cleanser.
Yep, get it out of the box. While you're getting out of the box, I have it here. Gentle foaming cleanser. It's a staple in our line. It is great for all skin types. Its base is aloe. So we have vervain and lavender, which you're going to have as a running theme throughout most of our products. We add our scent profile. But this, and obviously you're not going to be using this at the moment, but
Ooh, I like the smell.
yeah, it's very light. It's got a texture of like a gel-like texture, but that's the aloe base. And it's got some really wonderful characteristics for normal skin. We don't use any sodium lauryl sulfate, which is why things froth a lot. You're not going to notice a lot of frothing happening. It'll foam a little bit, but that's just a more natural ingredient that does that versus it being a SLS, which is, if you ever see that, someone says SLS free, that's sodium lauryl sulfate, which is a very drying chemical that helps things froth up. Because, we kind of were taught if it doesn't froth, it's not working.
Right.
Because we've got a sweet orange cream cleanser that's more for like normal to oilier skin.
Right.
And that's a cleanser. I think you have a little sample packet of that. That's a cream-based one. So that doesn't have any kind of foaming of any kind. And a lot of women like that. And it's got mandarin orange extract in it, which is going to help purify the skin as well. So
the sweet orange cream cleanser.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Isla Kreischer has very oily skin.
Yeah, have her try that, and don't be surprised if when teenagers start to use product and they finally start taking care of their skin, they break out. And like my daughter has said for years, like, oh, your skincare breaks me out. And I like literally go, okay, you don't even clean your body for 7 days, and you're going to talk to me about your hormonal, epidermis? Get out, right? And I'm like, Avery, no, consistency. That's why the pores are large on your skin. You have to exfoliate. I do, and it breaks me out. And that's because you don't do it often. And then you argue that, no, I'm wrong. And I'm like, you're telling me I'm wrong. Okay, how many years do I have under my belt?
Right.
But neither here nor there. So
here nor there. It's because you're MOM. That's why you're wrong.
MOM.
You got the MOM syndrome.
I got her MOM right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got your cleansers. Okay, and then we talked about toning. Toning is always good. I tone like after I cleanse, and you have the gentle mineral toner. You should have the one with our gemstones in it, which has rose quartz, which I love.
It says infused with rose quartz gemstones.
Yes, and they're real organic rose quartz gemstones. And so this stuff smells delicious. It has bee pollen extract, which is why it can't be vegan. It's vegetarian. Our line is vegetarian friendly, but that's because of bee pollen. Anything you have bee pollen in, you can't declare it is vegan.
Got it.
Because I think people, that believe if you're messing with any kind of bee, it's an insect, not an animal. And we have no animal byproducts, of course, and we're paraben free, which is important to us because we want to keep ours as clean as we can while producing results. And I was telling someone this recently, when the clean beauty movement happened, it kind of freaked us out because it takes years to change your formula and it's thousands of dollars, right? You've boxed everything, you put everything on labels and printed from Italy. And then someone's like, oh, nope, that's bad. Oh, nope, that's bad. And you go, is it bad? If you drink it, it's bad. Like people were saying retinol palmitate is bad. Retinol palmitate is a vitamin. It's bad in sunblock because it blocks the UV. It actually reverses the effect when you're trying to block sun. It actually can attract the sun. That's when it's really bad. But in skincare, it's fantastic for you. It tightens and tones the skin. So there's a little bit of things. And I think a little bit of knowledge can be a little dangerous too. But I encourage people to read stuff. And we don't have products that have 3 ingredients. Yeah. Because we're not in our kitchen doing this and then going, here you go. And when I see lines in Sephora that I've, looked up to for years on the natural scheme, and they got major backlash. I won't even mention them, but I felt so bad for them as a brand because it was growing mold. Well, because it doesn't have preservatives, but you're, and some people will kick back about this, but to me, I like results. right? It's kind of like for my hair. I can't use 100% natural hair care stuff because my hair is frizzy and it's Florida hair. It starts to puff out and go back to 1980s.
Right.
Too legit to quit. And I'm on the speaker dancing in Daisy Dukes. Like that's the look. And I have to use stuff that has silicone in it, or it won't weigh it down enough. That's my choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to each his own. So for us, our line was more about how do we, every year we tackle a few more of our ingredients. And so that's when we started coming up with our 100% clean. What is 100% clean? Well, any line that has oil and there's no water product, there's no water in it, can be 100% clean because it's just oil. Most are adding a chemical in there, but most of the time with an oil example, like we've got these 3 oils, these face and body oils, and they have nothing in it but oil and essential oil. So there's no need for any preservative because there's no water in it. Water creates growth of bacteria when dirty things touch it. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that if it had no water, that's what makes it kind of go bad. So
it's true. Yeah, because it has nothing to help protect it. Oil and water don't mix, right? So if you ever have a bottle that has like droplets at the top of it and it's a product that has essential oil in it, you can see them separate sometimes.
Yeah.
But you'll see if you look. Now, some people will not put a preservative in that, and that is absolutely cool. And a lot of people have organic product. Organic doesn't mean natural. Organic means that they have organic stuff in it. You can have organic alcohol too. Alcohol is not really natural to that degree. So, there's a fermenting process, and I would just suggest that people, read the ingredients and get educated. And, people use EWG to look at their ingredients. I know you have Beauty Counter rep on here, and that's a great brand as well. But they use phenoxyethanol, and they use these things that if you want to have a product on a shelf, you're going to have a shelf life for the safety of the customer also.
Yeah, totally.
Because I don't want anyone growing mold on their face because that's much more dangerous than and again, that's arguable. People could argue about that, right? But we never apologize for being paraben free, but we have some synthetic, safer chemicals, if you will. But an example, going back to your toner, I mentioned your skin is like at around a 5.5. If your skin is healthy and it's not overly oily or overly dry, it's sitting around a normal 5.5 to 7. That's your pH balance. Mm-hmm. And in order to restore your pH, when you're having an outbreak or eczema or someone's getting rosacea or they're getting large pores, hormonal outbreaks, especially around the chin and things, they need to try to get their pH back to the normal basic, which is the 5.5 to 7. Our products are pH balanced unless other noted, meaning if it's a peel or something, because it's trying to counteract that. What I think people forget is premature aging happens typically because your pH is off. Whether internal, external, your skin pH is off. So if anyone's ever really suffering where they're like, I'm 32 and my face, I'm starting to get really, the crepiness of your skin starts to happen. You start to sag a little. It's not jumping as much as it used to or coming back. Age will do that to you no matter what, hormones, sun damage, clearly. But checking your pH in your product. And you get pH strips and you just put it in there. And if it's registering at an 8 to a 10, then it's very high alkaline, which can create premature aging. So you need to kick it back. Soaps, cleansers, that tends to scrub it and you get that really kind of scrubbed feeling. You need to then moisturize really well because now you're going to bring it back. It's always about bringing it back. So that's what toner helps do, because you just cleansed your skin. You want to bring it back. So then after that, let's see what else you have. What else do you have in your box of tricks? And
I have botanical eye makeup remover.
Yes, that is a staple. I think eye makeup remover is one of the most undiscussed product. When people need to use eye makeup remover, if you want to keep your lashes, this is, for me, I love it because I wear contacts. And I'll never forget, I went on a trip once and I forgot my makeup remover. And I went into the spa and got something years ago. And whatever they got, the brand, it's a very well-known brand. I was like, okay, great. I bought it, $35 later for this little bottle. And I go to put it in my eyes and I felt like someone had just poured gasoline in my eyeball. And then it's like, I have contacts. So now it's all oily and I can't see. And I only brought one pair of contacts. So now I've got this oil-drenched eyeball that's on fire. And oil inside, and a lot of people use that oil for their eye makeup remover to break down whatever's on there. I find it to be an irritant and a problem because it can mess with your eyes. You just want to get something that's not going to make you cry when you use it. So we've been using this for 15 years. We've probably had 1 million facials performed with our product, and about 2 million of our body care products on massage. So what we have found is that people really love a great quality eye makeup remover. So, people splurge on their creams and their serums, absolutely, but splurge a little on a good eye makeup remover because it's the thing you use most consistently every time you take off your mascara, if you wear mascara, or lip stain stuff. And nowadays, everyone's getting the 24-hour lasting long lash stuff or the tubular things that wrap around your lashes, and it'll break your lashes off.
Right.
It takes a long time to get them back if they come back.
So then if I have makeup on, I put that off and then do the gentle foaming cleanser and then do the toner?
Yep.
Okay.
I always use my eye makeup remover first, and I'll put it on a pad and I'll literally just set it on my eyes, and then I'll work in circular motion with it, and then I fold it in half and I get under, because that's where when you're trying to get like right up in there and underneath, and then I do it again, because then you wash your face and you get off any extra residual, and ours breaks down makeup pretty well. So just food for thought for people. Ours is really affordable. I think it's $24 or something.
That's great.
Yeah.
Everything in your line was very affordable.
Yeah. We're going to have a price increase. I was mentioning that to you because we haven't increased in 7 years, because some of our products are actually, they almost tripled in cost.
Wow.
Because shipping has tripled to and from states, Italy, where we get our bottles from. But regardless, some of our core, like lavender, went through the roof because remember, 7 years ago, there weren't a lot of indie beauty brands. We were part of that kind of crew that came up through spa. There's not a lot of spa brands specific. And now everyone has a line. They're like, oh, my grandmother and I were in the kitchen and we made some lip balm. And you're like, wow. Right. But we've been around a long time. So for us, we wanted to make sure we keep it consistent. It's all about the quality. We wanted to make sure someone could get a regimen and not just like, well, I'll splurge on that one product. But what we found over time is that we're more prestige, but not mastige. Mastige is masses, Walmart, Target, and prestige could be Prada, Louis Vuitton, and we're kind of we're in that mastige.
Right.
So we're in that
word, mastige.
Mastige. You've got your mass market, you got your prestige with mastige. So I think we're in between the the high end for spa, but price effective. So even if we raise ours a little bit, it won't be crazy, but some of them went up so much we were like, oh god, people are going to be mad. But we were like, it's so good. I've had people say this should be $100 and something, and then we're like, well, that would make more sense. Okay.
Well, speaking for me, I am someone who did not come from any kind of skincare background, and when I first started trying to take care of my skin, which full disclosure was not that long ago, I had a little bit of a heart attack at how much things cost at this price level, because I used to buying things at Rite Aid. Right. And at a certain point I went, I think I may need to upgrade from Rite Aid because of my age, right? It wasn't really, it was because I was using like Noxzema skincare. Mm-hmm. And so, I know, sorry. But I was like, Noxzema's got to be good, right? Noxzema's a brand. Everybody knows Noxzema. That's what I use.
Like, you're a 12-year-old. Yeah.
Exactly. Until I went to this beauty counter party and I tried some of their products, and I literally was like, that's way too much money. I am not spending that much money.
And then $30 on a tube of cleanser?
Of nothing. I'm not doing it. And you get this much.
Yeah.
And at Rite Aid, I can get this much for half the price. I'm not doing it. But then I left the party and didn't buy anything. And then I got home and I was like, wait a minute. My friend threw this party because my friend was having a financial hard time. And this was the product that she used. So she threw the party so that she could get a lot of free stuff, right? Because she was the host of the party. Right. Not the person who sold, but the host. So I went, okay, let me go back and I bought some mascara and I bought some skin oil. I'd never used facial oil. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, I'm going to try it. I could not believe the difference it made in my skin going from Noxzema to a one step up higher line of product. Maybe more than one step up.
Probably 2 steps up, yeah. But
the price range was similar to what you have now. And it's for me, turning 50 this year, what it does for my face is night and day different than what Noxzema and Olay and all that stuff from the drugstore was doing for my face. May not be somebody else's experience.
Sure.
And I started using that, just the facial oil. I bought the facial oil and like a cream. And oh my God, I'm like 5 years younger. And it was the quality of the product.
Yeah.
So
it's absolutely true. And that's what we experience. I mean, it's people telling me that they used antioxidant repair on themselves and their husband, who was getting folliculitis when they would shave, a breakout of the hair, back acne, any type of shaving issue. They were using this because it's an oil, but it can be used face or body. And just having people write saying, it cleared up my acne, it cleared up my husband. I can't believe this. PCOS was part of the inspiration of our line as well. Alana also was inspired. She created the Face and Beauty oils because she was trying to get pregnant and was having a hard time when she was trying to get pregnant. And so she was using aromatherapy. So it was very interesting how quality, and I will tell you this, people sometimes need to be introduced to a new product one step at a time. It's when people try to go, you need this. People go like this. Yeah, okay. No. Because no matter what, they're going to leave a spa, they're going to go to Target, or they're going to go to Walmart or Rite Aid, and they're going to buy something on the shelf there. It's been proven. And if we went through all of our product on our body right now, we could go the soap that we use, the razor that we use, the shampoo that we use, the conditioner, the hairspray, the cleanser, the tone. 50 products touched your body.
Yeah.
How do we make sure that you're getting quality over quantity? Mm-hmm. That big old bottle of Noxzema, right? Because if we go back and were to dissect the ingredients of those, you would start seeing things that were not conducive to really great, hydrated, supple, feels like, and looks flush. Like that's what you need. And as we get older, we lose all of that elasticity in our skin. And there's not a way to get it back. No. That's unfortunate. However, the hydration that you're doing with drinking, critical. Water's everything, and sleep and water. 7 to 8 hours plus that water, you're going to see a tremendous amount of difference without even changing skincare if you're using pretty good skincare. Yeah. Then you start adding in things like, well, the cleanser's a cleanser, a toner. Okay, not even a toner. Let's just cleanse. And then I'll just use a face oil. Quality face oil with quality carrier oil. It's the carrier oil that matters, not the essential oil.
What's a good carrier oil? Well,
carrier oil, jojoba is one of the best ones because it mimics skin oil. That's why it's not so, oily and you feel like you've got residual oil all over you. It soaks into the skin because the skin goes, oh, I recognize that.
Got it.
Yeah. Another oil that is going to be a little heavier and more chocked full of vitamins is carrot oil. That's what we use because of keratin. And that's why, for us in our face and body oils, we've got,
one of those.
Yeah. I think I gave you an anti-aging one.
You did, because I need it, because I'm turning 50.
Because I figured you want it. And this one has rose and ylang ylang, which is why it has like an orange texture. Yep. And depending on the plant, depending on when it is harvested, is how the color will change from orange to a little more yellow. Yeah. So it's going to be strong. Like ours are a 3% therapeutic grade, which means the essential oil element, which is for us, and that is rose and ylang ylang. There's a hormonal reason for it. There's a spiritual part of that. And there is a skincare part of that. Rose is going to be more hormonal. It's the heart chakra. So it's going to really drive circulation and hydration. So you got your cleanser, you got your toner after you took off your eye makeup. And then something that people don't realize is exfoliating your skin is huge. Mm-hmm. It's really the way to, let's slough off the dead skin cells, reduce the pore size. And so for us, I think I gave you rice flour polish, didn't I? I hope so. No, I can't read. I'm like this. I can't read.
Yes, I have it. It's in a pot. I was looking for a bottle.
It is a jar because it's too thick to go through a bottle. And
when it comes with a little stick.
Yes. And that's for you not to stick your nasty fingers with the water on them. Because we don't want to grow mold, even though we have preservatives, but we don't want to have any problems. So smell it.
I'm going to.
This smells so yummy. And it's jasmine.
Ooh, I like it.
It's a creamy based exfoliant with rice bran in it.
Mm-hmm.
It has very, very small little wax beads in it. And it has salicylic acid and papain. This little bad boy can turn into a peel for your face. So if you exfoliate, and I always tell people patch test, put a little bit right here, just make sure, because salicylic. People that are allergic to aspirin can't use salicylic. Now, are they going to drop dead? No. However, we always say, hey, be mindful, But I can tell you the creamy texture of this is great as an exfoliant. As soon as you add a little bit of water to your fingertips and rub it in and wait, you'll start to feel it prickly a little bit. It'll start to heat up a little bit. That's the papain and the salicylic acid, which is eating away at the dead skin cells.
Okay, so took off my makeup.
Yep.
Gentle foaming cleansed. I toned.
Yep.
And I put this on my face, and then I wet my fingertips.
Yep.
And then just and
Scrub it all over. If you want it to activate as a peel, you wait 5 minutes and you'll feel it. It activates that little papain, which is fruit enzyme peel, and a salicylic.
Okay.
And then when you wash your face off, wash it with tepid, lukewarm water is always the best for your pH. And you rinse it off, and you'll feel your skin will feel absolutely incredible.
Do I do this every day? Or
I would, it depends on your skin type. If you've got a thick dermis, yes. So if you've had like a lot of peels, like some women, they can go to a surgeon or a chemical peel or a dermatologist, and they can get like intense peels because their dermis is thicker. Mine isn't. I get really flushed quickly, so I get red fast. So I do mine twice a week.
Okay.
Twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Twice a week.
And my daughter should be exfoliating. She's very dry, but her nose gets large pores and blackheads because she's a teenager. And so and her back and her chest now are breaking out. And I'm like, okay, that's hygiene. You have to clean. You can't wear your shirt all day, every day. It's disgusting. And she's never really broken out her face. Thank God for her. She hasn't had that. But for her nose has larger pores. And I'm like, yeah, it's genetics. I know you love me for that. So I told her that she just needs to do spot check. This is a really good for teenagers. It's very good for teenagers to spot check. If they have a pimple, have them put a little dab of this on there. Wait. Yeah. Because it's gonna draw out and help exfoliate that pimple. And it needs to clean up the little infection that's going on, the little bacteria. Do this twice a week.
So twice a week for me. For Isla's actually really good at skincare. But she has oily skin, so she has more acne as a teenager. Georgia has no acne. Georgia has the skin that you freaking die for, except for the freckles, which I think are adorable. But Isla, so I could have Isla just do that on her pimples.
She could. And T-zones. Teenagers tend to be T-zone strong, which is hormones, right? You got your T-zone.
Yeah.
They get pimply here, here. Not too much pimples here unless it's hormonal, like on the jawline is very hormonal. Right here and here is known as like the hormone line. They get big pores and blackheads right here, right? And so they get the T-zone. So I always treat the T-zone, like example for Isla, she'd probably be good. I should send you guys like a little bit for her. She'd probably do really good. We have a Phyto clay mask. And that is French green clay. It's very detoxifying. It'll purify. It draws out impurities. The issue that teenagers and adults that have oily skin is they shy away from oil. So they tend to strip it. That's why Proactive, some people it works for, some people it doesn't. It can be uber dehydrating. And then what happens? Your body goes, oh shit, I need to produce more. Yeah, so that's what happens. The more you strip your skin of oil, the more oil it will produce because your body's brilliant. It's trying to give you, it's like when you start drinking water, all of a sudden your body, you crave water, right? Yeah. And all of a sudden your body it's morphing itself into self-regulation.
Right.
Same with skin. If you use a good oil, it should balance out the amount of oil you're producing because oil begets oil, and you want oil on your skin because it helps with, it actually creates a barrier and protects you from infection on your face, So for teenagers that have acne, we have a clarifying face and body oil, and it smells like grapefruit, but it's the same carrot oil. It's rich. A lot of teenagers use it on the T-zone because that's their problem. Or if they have back acne or chest acne, they can use it there too. And I would really suggest teenagers tend to shy away from using moisturizer. We have a matte moisturizer that we had on Ipsy and people loved it, especially if you're wearing makeup, but we'll get into that. So the other exfoliant, which you have rice flour polish, but people that don't like a peel or if it's too intense for them, we have a velvet verbena one, which is, it's more of like a manual exfoliation because you can feel the little beads in it. And that has polylactic beads instead of micro beads, because micro beads 5 years ago were outlawed in California. And we used to have a formula that had micro beads. And we were like, oh
no,
it's bad. So we stripped out that and we were able to use polylactic beads, which were natural, and jojoba wax beads. So that helps, and it smells like citrus. So it's easier, and you're moving it you're manually exfoliating.
Right.
Teenagers tend to do that if salicylic's too much for them, let's just say.
Got it.
So we got you on that. Then, so when you do a exfoliation, now your skin is pretty dehydrated. It's dry. You've buffed it, if you will.
Right.
Now is the best time. I usually tone again, personally,
really?
because I want to bring it
balance.
to 5 to 7, right?
Oh.
And right now, once I did that, it's probably going to either be acidic, low or pH, or too high. So you want to go back to the balance. So I usually just spray a couple times. Now my skin is ready for a serum.
Okay.
And we're talking like full on. Now, I gave you skin brightening serum.
Yes.
You got the anti-aging face and body oil.
Yes.
Skin brightening is going to be your great defense for brightening the skin to even out tone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And when you do this, what's really great with skin brightening serum is I had a dark freckle spot, it was like a mole, but not risen. And I put it on there and it disappeared after a couple weeks. It was amazing. And I went, oh my, because it has kojic acid in it, it has glycolic acid in it. It's a really great natural serum to help kind of like get your skin at one color, right? Because sometimes we're hyperpigmentation, too red here. Just know that if you do wear this, you want to wear sunblock afterwards because it has glycolic acid in it.
Got it. Okay.
Anything that has acid in it, you kind of want to, we always want to wear sunblock, but some people just have to remind them. And so I would use that, and then I would use my moisturizer.
So then when do I use this anti-aging face and body oil, or do I?
I use my anti-aging face and body oil every night.
At night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is
your choice too. Remember, you can use both. You can actually do the skin brightening serum and then do a face and body oil, because they're all going to balance you.
I can do the serum and then the face and body oil.
Yeah, you can. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then would I also moisturize, or just the face and body oil? Also,
I moisturize afterwards because I find that the more hydrated my skin is, the better it feels and looks when I wake up in the morning.
I agree. So
I mean, yeah.
This
Our
advanced
parents did the Pond's cold cream. They used to remember the Pond's cold cream because they wanted it to feel like butter on their face. And it kind of was like butter, Crisco on their face. But there's something about hydrating your skin and creating that barrier from the outside, whether it's pollutants or just the air, it's too cold. The anti-aging face and body oil, a little bit goes a long way, man. I actually use, because I gave you Advanced Hyaluronic, I think, which is your moisturizer. Yeah, this is going to feel not like an uber gooey, dewy moisturizer. Reason why? Because it has coenzyme Q10 and it has matrixyl 3000. A lot of big words. All that means is it has a pentapeptide. It's yeah, I know, nerd out. It's a peptide that's plant-derived that tightens and tones the skin. Okay. So you've just basically taken away the dead skin cells, right? You've done your part. You got it ready. Your skin is like fresh and it feels like just, and it's dewy and you can feel it like while it's bouncing. Then you go and say, okay, I'm going to put a little bit of serum on here so that I can kind of tone out my skin. I want it to be one kind of shade, if you will. I'm going to put a little bit of face and body oil. And I actually pump a couple, just 1-2 of my Advanced Hyaluronic Moisturizer. And that's when I add my face and body. I just go, boop, boop. I mix them.
Aha. That's what I do with body lotion. I mix oil in with it. So same thing.
Great.
I love that. Yeah. That's my favorite thing, because then I feel like it holds the moisture better.
It does. That's exactly what it does. And the same thing with the plant-derived peptide. It's going to hold that moisture in like by 10 times.
Yeah.
And coenzyme Q10, it's going to help with that cellular renewal, because that's what we're fighting against is the elasticity, right?
Yeah.
And then we're trying to get it back up without having to get it tucked up.
Yeah.
And, nothing's going to naturally give you back that buoyancy in your skin because we're getting old. However, we can reduce the appearance of the premature aging or the wrinkles. And that's why people get Botox, because look, you're going to make that face. You're going to make that face. Same here. Look, that's my, what the F face. Right? I got it. Some people do the 11s. I don't do that one. I do this one, right?
11.
Botox, the 11.
This
one?
The 11. I don't know what I got.
I do that one. I'm a razor. I raise it up. Doug used to go like this. I'd be sleeping and he would touch it because I'd be like this in my sleep. I was basically probably telling someone off in my sleep. Like, oh, really?
I sleep like this.
See, so you're an 11. So if you're pooping, if you're like, what's going on? I'm going, So, yeah. But yeah, I think what's important is just continuing to remember hydration. And I'll tell you what's really cool to do if you want it to be extra crazy is you have this little sucker in your bag. So if you have this thing in your bag. Oh, that's what's
in here?
Yes. Yes. This is a rose quartz facial roller.
Yes.
You've seen them. They're everywhere. You can get them Amazon. Ours, I think, is $38. It's rose quartz. What's fantastic is you can use this after you tone. Let's say you just did your cleanser, your toner. You didn't need to exfoliate that day. You were good. This is going to help literally lift your face. Now, I'm going to show you how to really use it because you're using it like it's a paintbrush, and that's hilarious because you just painted your spare bedroom with that. She was like this. Well, I got to get that color in,
Got to get it done. Got stuff to do.
I only have 3 coats to do. You want to always, you see it has 2 ends. This is going to be for your face, and this is more around your eyes, okay? This, you always want to go up, right? Because you don't want to bring down because we don't want our skin to sag. We want our skin to go, So you want to go in and out and up. All right. So you're really, and it feels so good. It's nice and cold. Is yours cold?
Yes.
Yeah. Really good to have cold. Some people put it in the refrigerator, which for me is nuts. I can't. It's too cold, but it's amazing. So you're just going up like that. Yep. You're pushing up and you're basically helping. It's almost like an acupressure massage for your face. You're massaging your face. You're using a tool that's smoother than your hand because your hand is rough. When you go to touch your face with your hand, sometimes we're a little too gruff. This allows you to control that. And you're going up with it. Feel like you're shaving. And this, yep. This is love our chins.
Oh, I really show my neck really belies my age.
My chest and my neck, and I'm getting jowls. Like Ally McBeal had to show the waddle, yep. The chicken waddle or whatever, rooster.
Yeah.
And then this is where I have my big line right there. I tend to do this on that one. I'll roll that one up because that one's kind of bad.
Really good.
Now, the tiny one is where you can get in closer. And of course, obviously, you'd be in front of a mirror and not a Zoom thing, but you would literally be lifting. And you can even do the top lid, which is where I get a lot of puffiness. I don't get puffy here. This is great if someone gets puffy eyes underneath. It's like putting the spoon on. Like when we were younger, the mom would have a spoon.
Yes, you would. Yeah.
Yeah, no. And, really test it. You can do one side of your face at a time and really kind of look and see. Sometimes you can really see a difference. It's fascinating to me how fast our bodies respond to touch, whatever that touch is.
That's cool.
Yeah, so use this and you can do this. It's always good to have something that you're pushing into it. So that's why I was saying you can do toner or you can do a serum. You can do your anti-aging. You do it after you moisturize. You just want to have a slick surface, right? Because then you're really helping also permeate the skin deeper with that material, that serum you're using. It helps penetrate. Yep. Mm-hmm. It feels really good. And if you happen to get tension migraines, it's great. Put it in the fridge.
I get migraines.
Yeah.
I get love for my period. Once a month.
Hormonal. So you get hormonal migraines? Me too.
Yeah. I get them once a month, 24 hours before my period.
I get them before my period, in the middle, and at the end, which means it's when you're leveling. Yep. I've been, you know me, I've been taking migraine pills since I met Doug. I was sick and was at the bar, and Diane did the pill from Lowry's in my purse. I've broken up and I had no pill left. And I was like, oh, I can't go. She's like, you promised you were going to go out with me. She put my pill together.
Yes.
And gave it to me. And I was like, it was a muscle relaxant, which most people are like, here, give me one of those. I didn't get that way. I didn't get the luxury of, it's like kids that take Adderall, you know, and they calm down. Everyone's like, give me your Adderall. And they're whizzing. That's like a muscle relaxer for a migraine. I'm like, it's fine. I'm fine. But anywho, so I think I also gave you
several other things.
Oh, what else did I give you?
You gave me a lifting eye and lip complex.
Yes.
When does a person
every day? This you could use every day. And I'm going to show everybody here. This is how much, I love it. Men are going to be tuning into this going, what are they going to talk? Oh, hell no. They're going to yeah, no, we're not going to listen to that one. You never know what we might say. There could be butts and boobs. I don't know.
Never know.
Okay, so this is how much you need to put on your finger to go underneath your eyes. Nothing. This will last you a year. You know what I'm saying? Right. So anyone that puts more than that, honestly, you're just wasting the product. It's literally going into your hand.
Right.
And I also recommend that you don't put things in your hands ever, because you're literally spending a $50 to $70 serum and doing it in your palms, which don't wrinkle. You know, if you're going to put it anywhere, put it here.
Oh, okay.
Lifting eye, you literally are going to just dab it under and just gently pat. Underneath your eyes is the most sensitive area. It's the thinnest skin. That's why people show age there quickly with crow's feet, with our smile and our laugh lines. It just means we've had a life of laughter. But it also is where you can get really dehydrated. People get dark circles. That usually is a hydration thing, unless it's genetics. So when you get that hollow sunken, some people, when they lose weight, that's where they show it the fastest, is in their eyes. It deepens. So, I mean, I know women that have had to get plastic surgery for that because they literally feel like they look like a sunken ship. I'm like, I don't have that problem.
Right now.
I've never had that problem of looking sunken.
I have this one.
That's surgery, because ain't nothing going to fix it. Yeah. You got the lid.
I got the hood.
That's what he did. No, but so seriously, you do that, and you can use this on the upper of your lips, because some people.
I have that.
Smoking. Yeah, it's the straw. It's this.
But I don't use a straw.
Then you're just weird.
I sleep like this.
You are sleeping very. You got the old man face.
I sleep very angry. I'm like, I'm
doing my. That looks almost like, you know, Jim Carrey in The Grinch, and he's like,
yeah.
What are we gonna do?
That's my sleeping face. I'm not an attractive sleeper. As happy as I am all day long, I think I work out my issues asleep.
He needs to take a picture of that and be like,
right.
I need to see it. I don't believe it. So yeah, you can put that on your lips too. And I always put it on my wrinkle there, because it has retinol palmitate, which is a vitamin A we talked about. This thing literally, when you touch it and feel it, it's got shea butter in it. So it's uber hydrating, but it kind of spreads really easily. And I find that it makes me feel like I don't need to wear as much makeup, you know, because I feel like it kind of hydrates and I'm not worrying about underneath sagging or problems.
Truth, man, if you're fully moisturized, all I do is draw in my eyebrows and put on lip gloss.
Yep.
That's it.
Mascara is always a good one too, just to kind of pop it if you need to.
Mascara is good. I have very sensitive eyes. I have a hard time with mascara. And it's like if I wear mascara all day, by the end of the day, I'm coming out of my skin.
Because it's itching and falling out? Yeah.
It's just, if I use, I can only use Clinique or Beauty Counter mascara. Any other name brand, Chanel, Fancy Pants, Maybelline, CoverGirl, any of those, and my eyes are a disaster.
Really? The only one I can use is Almay. I found Almay. Almay had the best, because I like them thick and I like them to look, you know, pronounced, because I'm an albino almost. I mean, my lashes are blonde.
Albino.
I feel like it, because if I take off everything, it's like, where am I?
It's not.
Listen, I love albinos. I was made fun of as a kid. They used to call me Casper Christie, and they used to say they could see my blood working underneath my skin because it was transparent.
Oh my God.
No, but yeah, I think I just don't have a lot of coloring, especially in the winter because there's no sun and I can't go out in the sun that much. And when I do, I just turn into a big freckle conglomerate. It's not cute. That's the only way I get tan. My daughter said, God, you look darker than me. And she goes, it's because all your freckles. And I was like, well, we got jokes? You got jokes, kid? Yeah, you look pasty. Get outside, you vampire. What else did I send you?
You sent me, let's see, Ultra Restore Cream.
Okay, this is, didn't you say you're dry? Your skin is dry?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to play with it. At nighttime, you may switch out your advanced hyaluronic moisturizer that I said put a little bit of this dabble do of that in there.
Yep.
You may go, I would try this. That Ultra Restore is uber rich, 7 oils, shea butter, amazingness. That's why it's in a jar because it's too thick to come through the pump. Yeah. It is an incredible moisturizer. It is a night cream renewal. So that with just a little boop of that anti-aging oil will be great because you'll see the difference. You can totally see the difference, you know.
Person
Did you buy this?
Hovering something over my head. No, there.
What is that?
Sponsor.
Ooh.
Yeah. We just got some
new podcast sponsor.
Ooh, what is that? A microphone? No.
Theragun.
The massage.
Yes, the massage thing. Oh, have you seen those? They beat the crap out of you.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, okay. So, Bert, this is perfect segue. You have to use the muscle therapy lotion on your shoulder and have her do the boom, boom, boom. And it literally is like, have you seen them? It hits your back and it goes, ga, 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 and it looks like your skin's going to go. You've got to film it because it's intense.
Let's do that after this.
Okay.
During sex.
Thanks a lot, Christina.
I don't think he would like it like that. Maybe not. Well, maybe.
I can use it as a defense. Oh, yeah?
Right against you know what. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, so this with a little drop of this.
The anti-aging oil.
And night-night. Good night.
Night-night. Yeah, so good. So good for you. I don't know, what else did I get you?
You sent me Aqua Gel Mask.
Yep. So Aqua Gel Mask looks like this. Did I give you a brush too? I don't know if I gave you a brush.
Not give me a brush, but I have this thing.
You got that thing. Okay, great. We just got these in. They're little brushes that you can clean out. It's just so that you can have a nice way to put on versus your fingertips and keep it out of the jar. But you have that little guy. This is it's amazing after sun. Test it around your eyes a little bit because some people can feel it heat up a little bit, which is weird. It all depends on the skin layer underneath your eyes. Some people have reactions, some people don't. Very rarely do they, but then sometimes I feel like people might be allergic to lavender. So it's got lavender, it's got chamomile in it. The blue is crystalline azoine, which is a calming effect of the skin, and it's aloe-based. So this is a great hydrating mask. So, you've used the rice flour polish to kind of polish the skin. You've done all these things, but you haven't really done a mask eventually. If you want to do it after you do this peel twice a week or once a week, you could actually just do a little mask if you wanted to. It's a hydrating mask. It's your call. If you've had a lot of sun, you've been out in the sun a lot, or you're feeling really dry, sit with it 10 to 15 minutes. It's one of those that can soak all the way in, and it's not very tacky, that you can keep it on. I wouldn't put makeup on if you have it on because it won't dry enough in the skin. But I've used this, kept it on. It's saturated enough that I could just put my moisturizer over it and I was good to go. It doesn't have to come off.
Okay, so then I would use this on days I don't use the rice flour, right?
Or whenever you're feeling like your skin's really dry.
Right, okay.
Like you're needing that hydration, or you had a lot of sun, you were out in the sun a lot, so your skin's going to be dehydrated naturally, and that's one of those where people like to do masks. They like to sit and use a mask. And whether you're using a mask, like I mentioned, for your kids or even yourself, if you were oily, but you're drier, so you wouldn't need this, or unless you're breaking out. That's the phyto clay, right? This French green clay that dehydrates and draws out impurities. This is doing the opposite of that. This is locking in moisture. And this is really good to lock in what you got going on. You just cleanse the skin, you toned it. Now you're going to put on a moisturizing mask and chill. And then you top it off with your moisturizer and a little dab of that, right? And all of it works together. It plays off each other.
Right. So can I sleep in this mask?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You don't have to. It says you can rinse it off, Some people like to rinse it off so they can put their moisturizer on, because this isn't going to have the properties that a Mac Daddy moisturizer will, because that has your tightening and tone. Right. This is going to be more like, let's lock in some hydration, and then you just can gently wipe it off or rinse it off and then finish with your moisturizer.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You only sent me a couple more things. Ultra rich body butter.
Okay, so we got to take care of the body, because the body's, our skin is the largest organ, and body is part of that. Yeah, that's got our lavender vervain. It's a whipped body butter. It's a shea butter base, so it's really, really rich. And this, to me, if you shave, you've exfoliated in the shower, even if you don't or do use a scrub, because I get little bumps on the back, similar to what he was talking about, they're dry. It's dry skin. So mine don't pop. It's milia. It's little dry skin milia, they call it. And so I would exfoliate this with a dry body brush. And then after I shower, I then put on this moisturizer, because it locks in and it softens my skin incredibly. I believe it has reduced the appearance of cellulite too. I don't have a lot of cellulite on I never really have, but I've got those really, really light grayish the skin marks, stretch marks. Thank you. Skin marks.
Yeah.
From gaining 60 pounds with Avery. I mean, my body never was the same, and they're just really subtle, but I can feel them. So I'll dry body brush, and I don't know, did I give you a dry body brush?
No.
Well, we have a dry body brush too. It's not, we don't sell it yet, just because these were brand new launches. But when you dry body brush, which is so good in the shower for you, so good, up towards the heart, always up towards the heart. I don't know if that's just a circulation thing, or do they always say you want to brush up towards the heart? We do this in our spas. If you ever do a dry body exfoliation, they do this with the hand and they dry body brush you. It's to get rid of the dead skin, and help your skin get prepared to receive rich serums and moisturizer. So
it probably promotes blood flow or something too to the skin.
Yeah, it helps circulation, which, think about it, cellulite or skin, any kind of stretch mark, it's kind of a lack of circulation in that area. That's why that fascia release thing, that woman who does that fascia thing and scrub the crap out of it, it's because you've got fascia and fibrous tissues throughout your body. Like when I get a massage, my IT band, which is on the side of your leg, they call it the runner's band. You can't touch that on me. If you barely go like this with your arm, I'm like, I'm coming out of my skin. Yeah. And I've had people go, you've got to break up the fascia.
Right.
And I'm like, no, because it hurts too much. But it is good for you, because then it allows blood flow. It helps with any kind of cellulite, because that's where fat cells are sitting, and you want to scrub that out. So that will help. And it's just uber moisturizing and yummy. And the muscle therapy that we talked about, that muscle therapy's got eucalyptus and rosemary. It's got camphor in it. It smells like BioFreeze, but it's better.
Woo! It smells like BioFreeze. I sniffed too close.
It'll wake you up.
Good.
That stuff will wake your body up. I have had more people tell me they have arthritis in their wrists, from moving the mouse, or they have the thumb issues happening. Millennials are getting this, or bursitis in their hip. I have women that have told me, matter of fact, 2 days ago, a woman wrote me and said, I gave this to my aunt who suffers terrible rheumatoid arthritis, and she has a hip issue, and she gives it to her she was like, can I buy gallons of it? I'm like, unfortunately, no. But she was like, I have been using this for 10 years. Don't ever change it. I need you to keep it. Promise me. And I was like, this is amazing. Please write a review,
Right? That's awesome.
Yeah. People that garden and their hands start to get a little, and we don't think about us getting older and people really taking care of us in that way for skincare products or any type of ailment, because everyone's worried about what the young ones are doing. And I'm like, well, what about us 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds? I mean, I never had some lower back pain that I've had, or you're trying to work out and the workout isn't as easy as it used to be.
Yeah. Yes. It's sore and stiff. I wake up every day really stiff in my hips. And, cream like that would loosen it up.
Oh, it does. It heats it up. It feels like heat and cool. It's got that like cooling, and it almost is like, wow, this thing. I had it when I had a lower back. I pulled my lower back out, and we're actually coming out with our CBD line soon.
That's awesome.
Tinctures. Yeah, we've got 750 milligrams. We've got 1,500 and 3,000. And so it's pure CBD isolate. And so we'll be getting those. And then we're also adding CBD to our muscle therapy lotion.
Oh,
and
that's
our
awesome.
body oil. Yeah, because it absolutely is incredible. We had a Atlanta Falcons former player test it, and he was like, I have never had anything work so great on me. And, and he's used Icy Hot and BioFreeze and Bengay and all these things, Tiger Balm. It's really fantastic and people love it. So we keep it. It's our number one seller, hands down.
I bet.
It's the one that goes across, and the new packaging, dun, 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 no one's really seen this because we're getting it within next year. So we had this for years. I mean, this is the typical, it's a little more homegrown, but we're bigger than that. We've brought in green, like 100.
Ooh, I like it.
Pretty.
Yeah. That's rich.
Soft. It's a matte coating. So I'm a nerd. I love packaging, but so
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so that's what we do here at Privai.
Oh, indeed. That's my grand tour. I think I've got it. I'm pretty sure I know what to do with everything.
Yeah, and you can ask me if you get any questions. I know sometimes it's hard because you got like a full regimen, so it's like, what? But remember, you know how to cleanse your face, you know when to tone, you know what to use over there. The other stuff work together. You can use skin brightening serum before your moisturizer every day. But if you don't think you have any discoloration, you don't need to use it. When you start to get the skin spots, you start to get those on your hands, especially from driving. Those. That is great. That's exactly what you're going to be working towards. And you can use it on your whole face.
Sure.
And just wear your sunblock because they'll get darker. And notice, that's interesting that it's on that side for you and not your driver's side. How do your hands look? What do your hands look like? Is there one hand, if you look at them, is one hand more freckly or more wrinkly than the other?
Yeah, my right.
That's your right hand. Do you drive on the other side of the road? Are you a passenger?
I don't know. That is really interesting. I wonder why.
Yeah, that is interesting because I'm the opposite. My face on this side and my hand on this arm. If I look at it, it's got way more freckles on my arm.
Oh, mine is my right, for sure.
Interesting. Huh.
It's weird.
Good to know. In your car, you'll be like, I noticed. I go like this when I drive.
I drive like this. Oh, exactly. I drive like this.
I drive like this, backwards.
Constantly like this.
The whole time. Come on, hurry it up.
Yeah, I definitely have more over here.
Yep.
I know. I went to the dermatologist. For like an eczema patch or something I had. And she was like, well, we're here. Let's do like a mole check. I was like, totally. So I got naked. She came back in the room and she went, whoa, you got a lot of sun damage. I went, yeah, I do. She was like, wow, this is like extensive.
Really?
My thighs are so sun damaged.
Really? I've never seen that from you. It's just a lot of freckles, but or mole, like darker.
It looks like, how this is sun damage? It looks like this on my thighs.
Interesting.
It's really kind of bizarre. And it's a little bit here and there on my whole body. Not so much, a little bit on my chest.
Which is interesting because that's the sun hits your chest usually.
But my thighs, I wonder if it's just from being at the lake my whole life and sitting in a boat and my thighs just beat on.
Getting killed because you wear a hat, but the legs, yeah.
No, I didn't wear a hat or sunscreen or anything as a kid. But I wore a life vest, right? So a life vest to protect my chest.
Yeah.
My face and thighs got pummeled and my arms.
My arms. I have porokeratosis, which is what my mom has. It feels like rough freckles, and they're red. They look, you can't see it in this light, but they're red spots. If I go out in the sun, they go bing, and they look really red. And I went to a dermatologist for the first time last year.
Wow.
Yeah, which is, by the way, don't do what I do. Great news is everything was okay. And I'm a pale Irish redhead, and I've been fried. I had second-degree burns when I lived in Florida, where I had to bathe in vinegar to take the sting out. You know what I mean?
That too. I had second degree. I had second or third. I had big blisters from the sun.
Oh, just peeling. I remember the water blisters. Remember the water blisters? And you'd go like this. And you'd like, drip.
It's so bad.
It's bad, but you loved peeling, and you'd be like, how big can I make the sheet of my skin off? Like we're handling.
Can you believe we did that?
Disgusting. If my daughter was like, hold on, like, what are you gonna eat it? What are you going to eat it? You're disgusting. Oh God. No, but that's what you did in Florida. Someone would be behind you and be like, oh, hold on, let me get it. It's so gross. Like you're peeling my skin like I'm a snake.
Yes, so gross.
But that's how I grew up. I mean, I was the only pale kid in my household. And, we'd go to the beach in Florida and I would be miserable because they always shun me into the corner. You can't get in the sun. My husband still does that. We're in the pool and I'm like, getting sun a little bit. I have 50 on. I'm on it. That's why I'm not fried. And he's like, you're getting toasted. You're getting fried. I'm like, it's been 5 minutes. I need to have some vitamin D. Please. I don't want to be a vampire.
You are very pale.
So dark. But he got in trouble more than I did from the same dermatologist. He looked at him and said, you need to wear a shirt in the pool. And Doug, he's like, anti-establishment. I'm actually going to wear nothing now. There'll be no shirt or pants. I'm going to do the what is it? Opposite day? Show me to do that? Not doing it. He's that guy. So I did remove a mole. I had never removed this. And Doug used to make fun of this and called it Becky. Becky gave her a name. And it wasn't like some gross mole. And he always used to be like, hey, how's Becky doing?
I do that for Georgia. Georgia has 2 really big freckles right here. And their names are Percival and Priscilla.
Oh, I love that.
I named Priscilla before we had the dog. I was like, oh, look at Percy and Priscilla. They're my friends. I love them.
Yeah.
Mom. And then she brought it. And I'm like, but they're so cute. We had them checked. There's nothing wrong. It's just a freckle. But,
I know.
But yeah, Percy and Priscilla.
I love it. Yeah, Becky. And then, of course, the ladies who work with me at Privai, they're awesome. They've been with me for years. They made fun of me because I told them about that. It was just a small mole that stuck out a little bit. Yeah. And I never saw it as like this contusion. It's got a heartbeat. I mean, he would say shit all the time. And I would go, Doug, at least we can fix this.
Yeah, okay. Right?
Because yours is the whole face. We can chop this off, but we can't fix your face, my friend. And as he gets older, his nose gets a little redder. And I was like, hey, Rudolph. Like, don't turn into one of those people that have that weird purple nose, with the weird, because the beer gut, that would be it. Like beer gut, weird nose, I'm out. I can't. I can't look at you with the purple nose, like the painter guy with the big belly with the cigarette out of his mouth. That's all I see.
Well, he would never get a purple nose. He doesn't drink enough.
No, I know that's true. Yeah. It is from drinking, right? I told him I was like,
drinking.
I was like, if you do, you be hitting the sauce or something behind my back.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord. No, he can't. He's too lightweight now. He used to when we met. He had a problem. It was like, I'm not going to marry that guy because he's hitting it. I was drinking nothing when I met him. I had warded off alcohol completely. And I remember when he first got wasted, I was like, hold on, you're almost 30 years old. Like, what? He was like flirting with somebody while he was talking to me. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to put up that shit. No. And he was like 16 and a half years older than me. And I went, oh God, you're still a kid. Like, now I remember thinking that way because I had already come off that whole like, woo, went nuts. And then, life and circumstances happen and you go, okay, making really poor decisions.
Right.
When you're starting to go, who are you? Like you just don't want to do that. And so I kind of, I guess, naturally forced him out of it because I wasn't doing it. We reintroduced it back in our life by drinking like Moscow mules because you can only have so many without feeling sick because it's sweet. And we both like sweet drinks. So that's been our saving grace that we can actually share those together and it not be so. Because I used to get really pissed. Like I would have a problem.
Remember.
It was bad. Like, and I had families, if we had dinner with our family, I had someone go, just let him do it. And I went, really? Because have you ever seen him? Like when because he turns into a bubbling idiot and I don't like that guy. He's not aggressive or anything, but he would just get stupid. And I remember being like, oh, I'm not attracted to that at all. Like it was almost like the polar opposite of the goal. But our first stay the night over, I was going to be with him and his buddy at the beach and it was a birthday celebration and he's like kicking back Jaeger shots. And I'm like, Yeah, it reminded me of like when I was 21 doing Goldschlager.
Yeah. No,
memories, sense memory, right? The olfactory, getting back to that. I was like, I'll puke. As soon as I smell it, I'm throwing up. It's automatic. That Goldschlager, Rumpelmints.
Forget it. And Jaeger.
And I knew Doug at the time, and I knew he really didn't want to do it, but he said, he was in a rock band, 80s heavy metal band, signed to a record label. That's how he met girls, and that's how he would loosen up, because he didn't like who he was when he wasn't. I said, well, the funny thing is I like who you are that way. I don't like when you are someone else.
Right.
And that guy is going to be single forever because I'm not going to put up with that. I want someone who I'm his eye on the prize. And so I remember we were supposed to, stay the night, but he passed out in the back of his truck, like in the cab of his truck. And I'm thinking it's going to be a romantic night. And I'm like this, imagine me, I'm in the back of this cab truck and I'm like this. Because remember, I'm not drinking. So I'm like, I come across like I'm a nun and I'm like this staring at him, snoring. And, you think he's going to be like, and bark on you. Like that's all I could picture. And I looked over at him and I was just like, this isn't going to happen. So we get up in the morning and he's like, oh, I feel awful, of course. And we're driving. And I remember going like this. I was driving because he's still like, gray. Out of it. This is my first experience with him like that. And I go, you want to stop and get some scrambled eggs? A little cheddar cheese? When you like that, does that sound yummy to you? Maybe they're a little runny though, right? You like runny eggs? And he's like, dude, don't say it. I'm like, we could throw a little Jaeger on it too, because I'm so mad
my God.
that he ruined my romantic evening.
Yeah, how dare he?
We might have had our first love making. I was so mad. And then, we got over it. But it was those moments where you just go, what do I want? What do I not want? I don't want that.
No, no.
But he's good. He's good now. Because he's never seen me drunk ever.
No.
He's even said like, please get drunk. Please. I don't think I've ever seen you wasted. Ever.
Well, there's a clip of me online recently when I was wasted.
Really?
I get wasted maybe twice a year. But wasted is relative for me. Yeah. Really, it's like one drink too many.
Yeah. Where you're like, I feel a little goofy, a little red.
Yes. And then I immediately make absolutely no sense in what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't listen well. I don't process auditorily well anymore. So I don't answer questions well. And I think it's the funniest thing ever.
Oh, of course.
Lucky for me, Bert thinks it's really funny too.
Of course. He loves it. Are you kidding me? He's like, Doug, he's like, please get drunk. Because then I loosen up.
I'm so loose, and I'm very mouthy. And I get, my Southern accent gets way worse.
Oh, I'd love to see that with you and be like, hey, y'all gonna, and be like, woo, she's had a couple.
I like it twice a year. I'm good with it. It's super fun because then, I don't really get hangovers or anything, so I don't really recover. I don't. I've never.
I wish I didn't, because that has been a big deterrent. Doug does too. He gets sick. I mean, we both are like, if I have one too many, I used to have like 6 Crown and Cokes. I mean, I was the girl who I would have to drink a lot, or if I smoked something, it would be a lot, because I had a high tolerance for it. And I've never blacked out. I've never had that, but I like to be in control. And there's something about me in my youth. And having 6 Crown and Cokes, I usually get really loosey and flirty, like chandelier swinger, like, hey, dance, just party on me, drinks on me, everybody. But I also would get aggressive, not mean, but I found myself like, I would puff up. You know what I mean? I thought I was being sexy and I actually was being aggressive. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. I was that way too when I was younger. But now I just get really goofy, really extremely goofy and stupid. Yeah.
I laugh a lot. I'd rather smoke pot if I was going to do it. You know what I mean? If anything, I don't get hungover from that, but it's not legal here. So,
not yet.
Yeah, not yet. One day, maybe, who knows? But I have noticed that for me, CBD, which obviously has no THC, has really helped me with when I was doing cognitive behavioral therapy. It was helping me with claustrophobia and anxiety, and it still does. So I found that to be really wonderful for me. That's why when Alana and I talked about growing the line, we started really researching CBD 2 years ago when I first started taking it. And her and I really dug in and said, this is something that I think we could explore. We were going to be launching it, and then COVID hit, and it was like, crap. So, you don't want to launch something in the middle of a pandemic.
Maybe not.
Every 100 years, hopefully, never to see it again. If I live that long, there's aliens involved.
I know, right?
I'm so glad you got to experience some Privai. I can't wait to see your skin. Take some pictures of the sun damage that you have. I want you to kind of maybe chronicle it, do a chronological type of thing. I'd love to see, maybe put one on your leg, like see what it's like. And over time, I'd love to see if it started to work, because it has licorice root and kojic acid in that skin brightening serum. And it truly does reduce the appearance of the darkness, depending on the freckle or the mole, of course.
Right. I'll do that. I was actually thinking I should do a little video of myself using all this stuff, doing a routine.
Sure.
Time with this, and then this, and this, and this, and
this, and this, and they're like, Jesus, that's so much. And remember, everyone that is listening to you and us about this is just add something to your skincare routine. If you want to get out of what you have because it's not really showing you the results, just gently add things. Cleansers, toners, it is not going to have as much impact as the serums will, the moisturizers, and the exfoliants, really. Don't get too harsh of an exfoliant. Make sure you're putting a serum on, and get that sunblock. We don't have sunblock because it has to be in an FDA, over-the-counter drug. Anything that has sunblock in it is considered an over-the-counter drug. So the formulation has to be different, and we can't get it through our pumps, and I don't want to have a jar. And then we didn't introduce tubes to our line yet, but we're looking at it because I think it's important to have a skincare routine with a sunblock, but I leave that up to the sunblock experts, which we use Supergoop or Kula. Those are great companies. People use Aveeno and things like that, which is more, if you're going to Target. But Supergoop is a great line, and Kula, we know the owner guy, great guy. He's in California. And so Kula is a great brand too, and it's highly available to everyone, and the price point is great. But Supergoop and that we would highly recommend. So
awesome. And there's a link on my website under the tab Links to Great Things that if you go through that link and use the promo code that's on the link, you'll get 20% off through the month of June, right?
Yep. Absolutely. And if it's very successful, I'll run it through July too. You know what I mean? I think it's great. And we've already had some people purchase. And then someone wrote and said, I can't believe I was listening to Leanne's podcast. We love her. It was a guy. He was like, we love her. And I love Asheville. So I can't believe I can kill two birds with one stone. I'll support you, and I'm supporting that. I was like, this is great.
I love that. That's so great. Well, I mean, it's the perfect time. If you get 20% off, you have even less to lose to try a new product.
Yep.
And at a great price. So that's awesome. I think that's a win-win. They buy.
And a little travel kit too, a daily one. And that's be more for like teenage skin or people that have I would say people that aren't worried about anti-aging, depending on your age range. And then the anti-aging kit is a great kit because it gives you a little bit of a lot. You get cleanser. Awesome. Yeah, you get your cleanser, a little serum, and you get little samples, and just let you try it because I think that's always good when you can try something.
Absolutely. Well, I can't wait to try mine.
I know. I can't wait to see it. And have Bert and you guys use that stuff and then pummel him with that toy gun thing.
Yeah. What's it called? It's called
gun.
Theragun. I will Theragun him with a little
muscle therapy lotion. And wash your hands. Make sure he washes. Don't touch your nothings or your eyeballs because it will light you up on fire. So be careful.
We learned that the hard way post hot wings.
Oh, yes.
Never happen again.
Jalapenos, hot wings, and that. Stare clear, wash them, sanitize them. Well, I love you, and it's always good to be on your show. And we'll have to have another one, and hopefully we'll try to keep it light and fun.
Yeah,
and if we have to go dark and get in there like we did about the protests, we can do that too.
Yes, because we can talk about anything and forever.
I mean, forever, and laugh a lot. So,
yes,
all right.
I love you,
family.
Yeah,
love you guys.